here. There we go. I think that's pretty good framing. Yeah, super spontaneous stream, as it says in the description or the title, Three Little Birds. I know that song came to my head, but we are going to work on this little birdie today. Actually, I'll give you a little sneak preview of what the other pages look like. Started from here. This was really like the first kind of layout that convinced me. It's like, oh, there's something here, and I should continue along with it. And then we move on to this sort of like, almost, someone said to me that this almost looks like a side scroller, like a video game side scroller. It's like, oh yeah, that would be super cute as a side scroller, but really it's a way to introduce my character, Heartbreak, who, by the way, let me grab Heartbreak. Heartbreak and Steve Bijou. So Steve has already been printed, but this is the first time I got Heartbreak out of the oven, and he's looking pretty good. There's a lot of little itty bitty things that need to be taken care of here, but it's not too bad. So I'll keep them out for models reference sake. And speaking of references, I need references for my birdie. And I have a 3D version that's up on the screen right now, but I can't flip this camera so easily. So Steve comes. Steve's coming to do a little wellness visit. He wants to check up on his friend, see how he's doing. There's a version of this I've composited that is the side view of Mr. Heartbreak, which is in here. So I'm doing a little informal catch up. There. So imagine that on that to the very right. So yeah, this is how the sausage is made. And I am going to continue on the bottom there. You can kind of see already where I'm going with it. Oh, let me make sure the chat is on here, because I see someone is watching. Whoever is watching, welcome to the stream. Hold up. Okay, great. All right, let's start. This will be nice and short, I think. Oh, hey, John. Welcome to the stream. It's a me. Okay, so up on the screen, which you can't see, I'm so sorry. I have like references, visual references of like time lapses of birds flying across. So that way I'm at least I'm being semi-honest with how birds actually fly. I love drawing all kinds of animals, but birds and cats come very easily to me. So it's a joy to be able to do this today. Let me just do one more thing, make sure I feel unencumbered. Okay, there we go. So I actually am thinking maybe 3 to 4 birds. So let's just even think about, where would we want to place that? So this was roughly where I put sort of the silhouette of Heartbreak Bunbun. And I was thinking to myself, it's almost like a Care Bear style. If you're old enough to remember Care Bears, they had little symbols on their tummies. And when, I guess their power would be like, whatever their special like abilities were, they would light up and then a rainbow would fly out of it. It's not as fantastical as that here. I just want this little heart to like shine brightly red. So even if this still stays black and white, I may just keep just this red. So like little accents of color throughout, if that makes any sense. Anyways, enough talking. I'm going to just sort of lay out where I want my birds. And sort of like ratio-wise, how small. And then I think that the next frame will be the bird literally landing somewhere on Heartbreak. That's sort of where I'm thinking about it. So maybe it's, actually this should be smaller. So you kind of get the sense of the bird traveling laterally. Now the question is, do I sort of show... Yeah, I might as well. I might as well show the side view, like just the hint of a side view of Steve here. You know, I'm finding that I'm using different pencils for different, very specific things. So I might use this. Actually, funnily enough, I have a little like makeshift skilly glove to work with. So let's just put... So much of drawing something sequential like this is sort of planning for... You're not only thinking about story, you're thinking about emotionality, you're thinking about a lot of different things. But for one, you're thinking about how the reader is going to receive it. Like, how are they, you know, how is this specific panel going to hit, essentially? Like, I'm actually very hesitant to put too much, for instance, put too much detail into Steve here, because the star should be the bird itself. So I'm going to go very light on this, but make it very obvious that it's his hand. Yeah, so maybe that's enough of a silhouette there. Silhouettes, I mean, that's why character design is such a hard thing to pull off well, is the silhouette has to be recognizable enough. And John, you'll know this, having watched so many cartoons. It has to be recognizable enough that just the silhouette alone will give away, like, oh, I'm looking at Steve, or I'm looking at Heartbreak. Or now they both have like the beanies, so I have to be a little careful about their poses as well. I think they're my only two characters with beanies now that I think about it. Oh, you can't really see Steve's thing very well. There you go. Sorry about that. So first bird, let's see here. I'm going to look at my references really quick. John, there's one really cute comic I came across for it's by a cartoonist called False Knees, and he just does bird cartoons. It's the cutest. I need to send you this one specifically because it's around Venus. But they're like these chubby little birds. I just love it. Okay, but let me get this one going. Huh, there's not one with like a push off though. Should have looked for that. You know what? Let me do a quick little search for that. Hold, please. Bird. No. Lift off. Oh, there's a perfect one right here. Okay. I got it. We're good. Okay, we're going to switch over to the yellow pencil. Yeah, I think that's a great shot. Let's see if I can pull this off. So it'll be small. Like so. And I think I'll have this all in silhouette. So, and of course, because my bird is relatively small, and Birdie's name is YiYi, by the way, named after a Taiwanese film that I think is just one of the most beautiful films. I always thought it was a really cute name for a film. YiYi, YiYi. Care Bear Stare, that's right. That's what it's called. Did you ever watch Care Bears, John? I don't know if I thinking about it, I don't know if I ever actually watched an episode, but I always liked their overall sort of, I guess like the same could be said for My Little Pony too. Like um I don't know, but we were also so like it was so gendered, you know, like cartoons were so gendered. It's like, oh, you can't watch She-Ra, you gotta watch He-Man, or like it there was that sort of unspoken thing, I think, growing up. But yeah, the Care Bear stare. Actually, one of my ideas for Heartbreak Bunbun came from a shirt that I have that is a Care Bear. It's a very cheeky take on the Care Bears. It's a Care Bear, but it's a heartbroken Care Bear, and it does kind of have this, but it's like bleeding. So I didn't want to go fully um, too graphic with that. Care Bears, Smurfs, Smockies. I don't know what Smockies are. MLP, Rainbow Bright, of course I know. Okay, so that lift off. You see that? Little footsies coming out here. I think I could even do a better job with that lift off. But for now, for illustration purposes, we'll stick with this for now. Um, I gotta tell you, the most fun I have doing this, and it's something I think I haven't really felt for a while, is just cross hatching and line work, you know, and there's something very meditative about it for me. And I've been swinging back into this sort of analog vibe for a little while now, and with the loving support of friends saying, "Hey, you know what? You really should share more of your graphite work." And I think because I always, and I said this before in another stream, it's like I always just think about it as like, oh, these are my rough drafts, you know? Oh, this is going to go through a digital um, pass, or I'd start over in digital to do something. But it doesn't need to be that way. Like, this is always a great place to be. Let's see here. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next bird. So roughly, I think, yeah, here, bigger, right? Coming closer to the camera, small, ends up there. I think I also have to draw the dragon in there, so I may follow this flow here. So yeah, the dragon is here, right? So it's got this, again, I'm always thinking about composition in terms of even the invisible lines that you don't see, because that helps draw the viewer's eyes. Even my cross hatching, I'm trying to sort of pull you towards what I want you to see, like even just that little sweep. You may not even see facial details, but I just want you to feel. I want you to feel the flow. I may even draw sort of like little swooping lines just to infer that movement. Yeah, so far I'm not smearing, so maybe these gloves are kind of working. Oh, my screen went off. Hold up. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, where's my birdie? Sorry, you cannot see the other screen, but I'm just making sure I can see everything in front of me. Okay, beautiful. And John, you've been, I'm so happy you've actually got to see YiYi before in my little sanctuary island world. So I think you've actually helped YiYi, like virtually, which is so great. Oh, I love this. It's like some of these like real life silhouettes are so beautiful. Oh, I hear the crows outside right now. Speaking of birdies, who else is tuned in? Who else is in here? Show yourself. No, I'm kidding. By the way, the chat in YouTube is weird. Like I can't see it like show. I have to kind of look back and forth between the dress. It's a little bit um, strange in terms of how it's not showing up unless I literally press the chat button. Very strange. Very strange. You know what? Let me just focus on the silhouettes first, not. There we go. Oh, I don't know if I love this bird, but that's okay. I'm actually looking at looks like a red-tailed hawk actually. I might actually move you because I want enough room. I want it to feel like expansive, like it goes all the way across. And in fact, I actually think I've made this bird too big because it's way too dramatic of a interpolation between this to this. No undo buttons. We just gotta go with it. Okay. Bada boom. Well, it gives me a chance to take a look at the other references. Yeah, let me change something out here. Don't think this makes sense. Oh, I was mentioning the crows earlier. Like, um, yeah, I'm trying to make friends with them because, as we know, crows are very, very smart, and I'd like them on my side. They like to land on our roof an awful lot. I can sometimes hear their little feet up on the roof, just pitter pattering. At first, when this was happening, I was like, "What is that?" Sounds like little children, just like running back and forth. And that was a little scary. Like some early mornings, I'm like, "What? Huh?" But obviously we've since figured that out. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out how best to feed them. Make friends. Okay, classic birdie pose there. Cool. That's better. Let me go back to this other reference I like. Okay. Sweet. Okay, smaller bird. Notice I'm making the back wing here a little darker so you get a little bit more dimensionality, but not so much that you don't just focus on the shape. Cool. Yeah, I think I gotta move this little guy. Although I really do kind of love how this came out. It's very just like, especially you see this a lot in manga where like they really simplify the figure when it's far away to the point where it's just a circle. I've always kind of loved the boldness of that. My hair made it into the page. That's great. Okay, how much smaller do I want to make it? Maybe roughly there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 should be enough. Trying to pick a pose this time that I think maybe it's a downward. It's a downward flap. Where's a downward flap that I can use here? It's almost like dive bombing into Heartbreak. Yeah, I think that's okay. That's about as small as I like it to be. Yeah, don't mess with crows or squirrels. That's like #1 rule, I feel like, too. Oops, switching. Yeah, several of my friends inspired me to try to make friends because they actually have gotten to the point where the crows are following them around, which is its own. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad, but if they're walking their dog or something like that, they'll follow along. Like, damn, you got a gang. Literal murder of crows. Also, I'm curious, just asking chat here about whether or not, well, A, I like doing these just as like short little one-offs, but Are there other things that would be of interest in future? That's what I'm curious about, because, I want to make um, stuff for you all that is interesting in terms of process. Bye, Heartbreak. Sorry I have to push you like 3 inches or 2 inches to the right. But I don't think I'll regret that. I think that looks better that way. Okay. I don't know why I'm going with a dotted line. That's kind of funny. I think I'm remembering those like Family Circus comics where you would see like one of the kids just being a rascal and running around the neighborhood. And it always had like, I'm pretty sure they had dotted lines. It just kind of came out of the blue. Okay, so small bird. Small bird about to land. Ah, I got a perfect one here. It almost goes perfectly vertical. Oh, wait, wrong pencil. Hello. Oh, it's something else. I want a side view to my birdie here. Okay, cool. Went for the most compact looking. It's a warbler, actually, is what I'm. A lone warbler. I don't know why they're called lone warblers. Oh gosh, too big. See, I have to keep myself honest. It's like, because I think I like to draw small to begin with, but it's very easy for me to. This is how much I'm not used to doing sequential drawing anymore. Is that I wasn't even paying attention to size. Little feet. Mhm. Well, I've officially um, went against my word on the title of this stream, which is Three Little Birds. We got 4 little birds. We may even have 5 little birds by the end of this. Ye gods, brain. Oh, we're almost coming up in half an hour. That went like nothing. You know what? I will stop around the half-hour mark because I feel like we're going to end up in a pretty good spot. I may just sort of like lightly denote where I want Heartbreak on this side. So maybe right around here. Oh, I love that I have the model right here. Hee 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 hee. By the way, this specific print, oh my god, it may have taken like, I don't know, like 5 tries before I finally got it to not break on me. Um, Almost all of it was user error in terms of the filament kind of getting wrapped up in itself. I'm really not good at. I'm still very much a beginner with 3D printing. Let's just say that much. But even a beginner can do this. Yeah, I just want this up. go. Actually, that's even a better version of Bun Bun. He's so excited. So we want that pose of like, my old friend. Because Steve is basically enticing him to come down. He's in a real depressive rut, our boy here. And Steve is the friend you have who knows what you're going through at the good, and is there in good times and bad, and it's the kind of friend that you really count on, much like some of the friends who tune in here, which I very much appreciate. So really the inspiration was thinking about the sides of myself and the sides of others that um, really move me and make me feel like, oh, there's real support in the world, and we should never despair so much that we sort of shut ourselves away from others. And that's what Heartbreak was doing here. He was seeking solace in a space that is not of the living, shall we say. That's kind of where I'm going with this story. He's kind of he's going to a safe space, but it's not a very safe space long term because it's not interacting with the real world anymore. Okay, so that's about as much detail as I want to give. And then I'll do one last bird here, and we're already at our 32 minutes. Okay. Yeah, because he comes in like a little bomb. So maybe it's just one more here before impact. And that's like the next shot. The next shot I see myself doing is impact. It's like barreling hug into a human being, or in this case, a bun bun. Okay, yeah, that'll be my final one. Now it's got to be small, 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 small. Keep me honest, chat. It's not small enough. Oh, you know what? Let me sharpen this a little bit. Okay, perfect. All right. Don't know if I love this specific silhouette, but you know what? It does. I think it does the trick in feeling as if you get the full journey of that flight. So I tell myself now, let me finish. Yeah. I might fill in a little bit more detail here, but frankly, the less the better because there's already quite a bit happening on here. All right, folks. I am heading out. I really appreciate you tuning in. All right. Me and my skeletal hands my Skeletor hands will sign off for now. But here we are. This is it for this panel. Stay tuned for the next adventures in graphite and my little babies. Take care, everyone.